Hello everyone. What you're about to hear sounds like the beginning of a horror movie, but it's not. It's completely real. In one of the coldest, most lifeless corners of our planet, something that's been asleep for tens of thousands of years has just woken up. Yes, this was a controlled scientific experiment. At least, that's how it started. But what they've unleashed may be something no one can truly control. Right now, deep beneath the frozen soil of the Arctic, a 40,000-year-old secret is being revealed. And it's not just about our past. It's about our future. What did scientists really uncover under the ice? Is this ancient life form a scientific breakthrough, or a ticking biological time bomb waiting to ignite? Today, we're going deep inside the frozen heart of Alaska to uncover the shocking experiments, the disturbing discoveries, and the terrifying truth behind the awakening of ancient microbes. Our story begins in a place unlike any lab you can imagine. It's cold, dark, and carved entirely out of ice. Welcome to the Permafrost Tunnel Research Facility, an underground world buried deep in the frozen earth of Alaska. This tunnel was originally dug in the 1960s for military purposes, but over time, it became something far more valuable. A time capsule, a frozen gateway to Earth's distant past. The secret lies in what it cuts through: permafrost, a layer of soil, rock, and ice that has remained frozen for at least 2 years, but in many places, for hundreds of thousands. Think of permafrost as nature's massive freezer, one that has locked away the remains of long-extinct plants, prehistoric animals, and billions of microscopic organisms. For millennia, inside these icy walls, time has stopped. Bones of a 40,000-year-old bison, the tooth of a woolly mammoth, even blades of ancient grass, still green despite being frozen since the Ice Age. But this frozen world hides more than history. It hides a danger. Permafrost holds nearly twice as much carbon as is currently in our atmosphere, and as climate change accelerates, this once frozen layer is melting fast, releasing that carbon back into the air. The planet's largest deep freezer is being unplugged, and when it thaws, something else might thaw with it. To find out what really happens when ancient ice melts, a team of scientists led by Dr. Tristan from the University of Colorado Boulder descended into the tunnel for a groundbreaking experiment. Their mission: to discover what happens to the microscopic life trapped inside permafrost when it finally begins to thaw. They extracted perfectly preserved cores of frozen soil, each representing a slice of time reaching back tens of thousands of years. These samples were transported under sterile, ultra-cold conditions to avoid any contamination. In the lab, the goal was to imitate nature, to recreate slow, gradual melting. Just as it happened in the Arctic, the samples were placed in precision-controlled chambers. A few drops of sterile water were added, and for the first time in 40,000 years, the ancient soil met warmth again. Then they waited. For weeks, nothing happened. No movement, no growth. The samples seemed dead, as if the eternal frost had finally silenced them forever. But then, the sensors picked up something. Under the microscope, a flicker, a twitch, a shimmer of life. The microbes were waking up. Slowly, but undeniably, these ancient organisms began to move, feed, and multiply. Weeks later, they were forming colonies, clusters of living cells, rebuilding entire microecosystems lost to time. It was official. Life that had been frozen for 40,000 years was alive again. But what happened next changed everything. These microbes weren't just alive. They were hungry. After 40 millennia of starvation, they began feeding on the organic carbon locked in the soil, ancient remains of plants and animals from the Ice Age, and the waste products of their feast, two of the most powerful greenhouse gases known to science: carbon dioxide and methane. The sensors went wild, recording massive spikes of both gases as the microbes multiplied. The scientists had just witnessed, for the first time, a complete carbon feedback loop. The nightmare scenario climate models had only predicted humans heat the planet. The permafrost melts, microbes wake up, they release greenhouse gases. The planet heats even faster, and even more permafrost melts. A chain reaction, a self-sustaining, unstoppable warming engine. But the horror doesn't stop there, because buried alongside those microbes lie things far more dangerous. They call them zombie viruses, and they're not fiction. They're ancient viruses, frozen in permafrost for tens of thousands of years, and they're waking up, too. A team led by Professor Jean-Michel in France successfully revived a 30,000-year-old virus from Siberian permafrost. Later, they went further, bringing back another virus that had been frozen for 48,500 years. They named it Pandora-virus Yedoma, and under the microscope, it came back to life. Luckily, this one only infects amoebas, simple, single-celled organisms. But the terrifying part isn't what it infected, it's that it could infect at all. If a virus can survive nearly 50,000 years of freezing, then the idea of ancient human pathogens, viruses like smallpox or even the Spanish flu, still lying dormant under the ice, suddenly doesn't sound so impossible. And this isn't just theory anymore. In 2016, in Siberia, something unthinkable happened. During an unusually hot summer, melting permafrost exposed the corpse of a reindeer that had died of anthrax over 70 years earlier. The spores reactivated. They spread through water and soil. Within weeks, over 2,000 reindeer died. Dozens of people were hospitalized, and a 12-year-old boy lost his life. A disease thought to be gone for generations had literally come back from the dead. That was a moment scientists realized. The threat isn't just coming. It's already here. Permafrost covers nearly a quarter of the northern hemisphere. Inside it may lie viruses and bacteria our immune systems have never encountered. Ancient strains that once infected mammoths, Neanderthals, or early humans. Experts warn that thawing permafrost isn't just releasing carbon. It's potentially releasing our planet's biological past. A pathogen escaping from the ice could hitch a ride on a researcher, a miner, or even a curious tourist. And within weeks, spread around the world. A global outbreak, born not from a laboratory, but from the melting edge of the Arctic. And the scariest part, we have no idea what's truly down there. Every new layer that melts is like opening another ancient tomb. And we don't get to choose what comes out. The experiments in Alaska revealed two chilling truths. First, the Arctic is becoming a self-accelerating engine of climate destruction. Awakened microbes are releasing gases that make our fight against global warming even harder. Second, frozen beneath our feet may be the forgotten diseases of our ancestors, ready to return the moment the ice above them disappears. We used to think of permafrost as an unchanging relic of the past. Now we know it's a loaded weapon, one we accidentally aim at ourselves. The earth is thawing, the past is awakening, and the future is watching. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay curious, and remember, some things buried in the ice were meant to stay frozen.